Alright, y'all, I'm back here with another video. So I want to say that I know I say this in all my videos, but I'm officially done with school. I have my MBA now. So I'm taking time off from school. I'm taking time off from going back to school. So my videos, I'm probably going to be having more. I'm going to have more time. So saying all of that to say, with me having more time, put in the comments what shows you guys want me to review. Tonight I will be reviewing The Real Housewives of Potomac because somebody in my comments asked me to. If there's any other shows you guys want me to cover, I think me and my boyfriend are probably going to review Lovecraft Country as well. But anyway, let's get into it. So, alrighty, so my notes. So I watched this like the day before yesterday, so I have notes here, so just bear with me while I'm trying to get through this. Alrighty. So I know some things happened before this, but I just started writing with Christine and Henry because it's pretty much what stood out to me. So Christine and Henry are getting food or whatever, and they're both talking in their confessionals about one another. And Henry is pretty much saying, like, to be quite honest, he knows that he's being awkward, but Christina is like very like snotty. She's kind of rude. She's impatient, and it shows that, like, when the person came and brought her food, and I guess something wasn't right, she was complaining about that, which I can't get mad about because I'm really sensitive and picky about my food too, but I'm nice about it too at the same time. And then, like, the producers was trying to ask her questions, like, I don't know, because she did the same thing at the wedding. Like, right before she walked down the aisle, she was giving the producers like an attitude. Every time she was asked, like, they was asking her something, it was like, the fuck are you asking me for? Like, bitch, you're on a reality. Don't be another Brandon, Christina. Don't be another Brandon. Like, let's not go down that road. But anyway, so he just kind of said that. And, I think the producer asked, like, what is it, like, that you guys want from each other? And he asked her, like, what is it that you want more from me? And she said, I just want you to take more control, which I think we all know that. Like, the viewers know that. Henry himself know that he needs to be a little bit more aggressive. I just don't think he knows how to be. But maybe he will the more, he gets comfortable around her. Then we got my favorite couple, Amelia and Bennett. They go and they talk about kids and stuff. And of course, initially she was worried because, the whole thing about morally having kids is not moral and all this other stuff. But they pretty much agreed on everything as far as the kids was concerned. All right. This is important. This is important, y'all. This is important. I'm so sorry, y'all. I'm so tired because yesterday was my aunt's, speaking of marriages and relationships, yesterday was my aunt and my uncle's 13th anniversary, and so we had like a cookout, and there was a lot of alcohol and a lot of other things, and so, like, I'm just trying to, like, recover from that. Like, I'm really, like, exhausted. But anyway, so this is important. So we got Karen and Miles, right? Okay, all right. I'm not gonna go in on her the way I planned on it. That's why I'm glad I took time. And, they're talking and everything's going good. And so Miles says, that normally he wouldn't tell somebody this, but he feels comfortable around her, so he's going to tell her. So he tells her that he has clinical depression. And they cut to her confessional. And she said it again later in the episode. She said that she doesn't know how to handle this because she wanted somebody that was more masculine. And in my notes, in like all capital letters, I have wow. Just wow. Karen, this is the problem. You are part of the problem, Karen. Just because someone is sad, okay? Because that's what depression is. Depression is someone who is sad a lot, but they really, specifically clinical depression, and I know that because my grandmother was diagnosed with clinical depression, like, when I think even before I was born, actually, she was. People are loud. It's like, it's crazy to even say this, but, like, everybody has emotions. And some people's emotions, due to whatever it is, are a little bit more intense than the next person's. But to say that he's not, that you wanted somebody more masculine because he deals with clinical depression, if y'all are together right now, I don't know how I would feel as your husband seeing you say that about me. That's kind of crazy for real, because that's pretty much saying that as a man, why are you walking around being all sad for? Which again perpetuates the whole idea of men not being able to show their emotions. You're kind of the same woman. This is what ends up happening. You'll say that a man being emotional or having depression is not masculine, right? But then you'll be the same woman that will complain about a man not opening up to you about how he feels. Why would he do that? And that's why a lot of men don't open up as far as their emotions. It's because you have women like you who say, oh, well, that's not masculine to me. That's an issue. That's an issue. And don't think I did not catch it. That's a problem. And again, she said it later when they was in a group setting, and it bothered me. And I don't understand. Actually, I don't care. I'm going to skip to that part because it all ties together. But when she said that amongst the group with the ladies, I think it was Amelia who said, like, I think you're reading it all wrong. Like, I just think you're reading him all wrong. And I think Amelia probably definitely said that because she's a doctor. I didn't think about that till just now. But, like, you're Karen, that made me really, I don't want to say not like you, but look at you side-eye. Like, that's really the problem. This is why men now don't feel comfortable sharing their emotions. Because I share something deep with you. Something that has to do with my emotional state. And the first thing that comes out your mouth multiple times is that I'm not masculine enough. That's not masculine. All right, Karen. Okay. So if this doesn't work out, Karen, continuously go for the masculine guy. Where has that gotten you so far? The men that you was picking. Okay. Anyway. I just like the fact that at least he's communicating. Period. So that really bothered me. So then we got Amani and Woody, my boos. They go dune buggying and stuff. I cannot wait. I am going on vacation. Well, is it vacation? Yeah, it's vacation. But I'm really going out there to see my goddaughter because she was born a couple months ago and I haven't seen her. But I'm going out to Vegas. That's where my best friend lives. And when I go out there, I'm definitely dune buggying or getting on some ATVs. And then we have Olivia and Brett. So they're, I think, at dinner. And I came in like in the middle of this because I was doing something else. But when I came in, they was talking about money, and she asked him like, well, how much do you make? And he looked like kind of thrown off, which I understand why, because y'all on TV. But you know, he whispered it into her ear. He said, well, how much do you make? And she told him, and he was like, oh damn, pretty much saying like she makes like 2 to 3 times more than he do. And she was like, well, do that bother you? And he was like, I mean, no, not really. And then they got into the conversation about lifestyles and whatnot. Now, I always feel 2 ways about this. Okay, Olivia was pretty much trying to say she doesn't have a problem with how much it is that he makes. However, she does have a certain lifestyle that she likes to live. Like she said, I like to go on vacation a lot. I like to buy a lot of nice things. And it can be complicated if 2 people are not on the same page financially and mentally about what's important, because it's gonna turn into it's not gonna be a we thing. It's gonna be like that's your money and then this is my money. But even if you do it that way, then the person with the less money will sometimes end up, could possibly end up resenting the person with more money because they have more money to do things, or the person with more money might resent the person with less money because they got to pay for everything. That really can be a problem. And I'm not mad at Olivia for saying that she likes the things that she likes. She's a grown-ass woman. She's been living her life a certain way for a long time. And Brett is the kind of person, he's like, well, I don't really have that much money, but even if I did, like, that's not my type of thing. I think that there's always a way to find the balance. I really do. One thing I will, and then they talked about, I think, like, sex and stuff like that. One thing I will say about Brett, although he's an asshole, is he is funny. Like, he's an asshole, but he is funny, because every time he do be, like, making jokes, I do be laughing. I find it funny. So then after that, I put the after honeymoon talk, because that's what the therapist said, like, oh, you know, they got to talk about more serious stuff and what's going to happen after the honeymoon. So Christina and Henry, again, they go paddleboarding. They talk about shit, but they went paddleboarding. And like I said, I do like Christina and Henry to a degree together, because I do feel like they balance each other out. Henry is so reserved and really don't want to do anything. And sometimes he needs that push, which is what Christina does. But at the other hand, Christina does so much, and because he's so reserved, she needs to pull back a little bit. I can see why the therapist thought that this would work, but Henry gotta give a little bit more, and Christina gotta pull back a little bit. Like, they both pretty much, like I said, are lacking what each other like has. That's pretty much what it is. And so, but yeah, I like that. That was like the most I really seen him like talk to her and interact with her. So it's getting better. It's getting better. So we go back to Olivia and Brett, and they go swimming with the animals and the stingrays. I'm sorry, ever since may he rest in peace, the crocodile hunter, I don't play games with stingrays. No thanks. I'm okay. So they have a conversation about how, you know, each other, how they both deal with anger, and they both kind of said, you know, that they'll kind of talk through it. Olivia is the type of person where it takes a lot to get her mad, you know. You got to keep poking for her to snap. Which, I'm like that too, to it. I'm kind of like that. But I feel like sometimes I feel like that's not even healthy myself, because it's kind of like you letting everything build up versus just saying what your problem is. But then it's like, you don't want to make a big deal out of every little bitty thing. You know, whatever. She touched me when she said that, because that's really how I am too. So they talk, so she pretty much says how, so he asked her, like, whenever you mad, like, what do, you know, and she was like, you know, she'll call her sister, she'll call her mom, and just talked about how, you know, she's really close to them. And he said, well, how much do you talk to them? And she was like, pretty much like every day. I see them almost every day. And his thing was like, well, I don't, like, pretty much he's like, where do I fit in that? And in her head, she's like, well, I mean, of course, going to make time for you, like, you're my husband. And I can see it from both sides. From his point of view, the way Olivia sounded, it did sound like, well, damn, girl, I mean, I don't want to just come and bum rush your life, but it seems like you spend all your time with them, you know. So like, where in there do I fit? When is it gonna be time for me and you? Granted, we live with each other, but if you spending every single day with them, sometimes I want to just spend me and you the whole day. I get him, but at the same time, I get what she's saying. I think in her head, it's like, I mean, it's a given. That's why she kept saying, like, I mean, yeah, you're my husband. So I think in her head, it's like, well, duh, I'm gonna spend time with you. Duh, I'm gonna have to adjust like I'm a wife now. I thought that was just a given, but I'm letting you know that I am close to them and I'm around them a lot. But again, communication, important. Communication is important. Okay. So we get everybody into the group. Okay. Henry is not very talkative. Amani, no. Who the hell is that? I have no idea, but everybody's doing good. Okay. I think I wrote the letters wrong. But anyway, yeah, so everybody's good. So the boys go, you know, the boys stay at the table and the girls go to the bar. So I guess the producers must have told somebody to say to somebody, hey, you guys, let's rate the marriage, because there's no way that y'all rated the marriage and then the guys just so happen to do the same thing. Somebody told somebody to rate the marriage. Okay. So when it comes to Amelia and Bennett, Amelia said an 8 and Bennett said a 10. At first he was like, I mean, you know, what you want me to say? Like, as far as everything so far, yeah, it's a 10. I'm not saying everything's going to be perfect forever, but so far, I really like her. Woody and Amani both said a 9, and that makes sense because throughout the episode, they were both talking about how they're just kind of like waiting for the other shoe to drop, and they're kind of scared of what's going to happen when they're like not getting along. But I think that y'all doing that, it's gonna, they need to just enjoying each other. You know what I mean? Versus just worrying so much about, oh my gosh, what's going to happen when I'm mad? Oh my gosh, what's going to happen when she's mad? Just keep a line of open communication. That's what's important, okay? And then we have, oh shit, I can't even see. I don't got my glasses. Then we have, oh damn it. What is the damn name? We're going to get back to them because I can't even, oh, Karen and Miles, sorry. I'm like, what is their names again? Karen and Miles. Karen said a 6, and she brought up the whole thing about him not being masculine enough, like I touched on earlier, and he said a 8. Because, you know, he can tell that she's still like a little hesitant or whatnot. And then Olivia said a 7, and Brett refused to answer, saying like, "Oh, I'm not gonna be that trivial and put a number 2." I mean, is it really that big of a deal? Just do it. Like, just do it. It's not that big of a deal. Just fucking do it. But whatever. He had his excuse, but he overheard Olivia say 7, and I guess he got like offended by that. Which, I mean, what you want from her? Like, y'all just met each other. Y'all both had like some conversations today that she probably really had to think about. Like, damn, I think a 7 is pretty alright for somebody I just met the other damn day. And then Christina and Henry. Christina said a 5, which makes sense, and Henry said a 7. And again, the reason I like Henry is very self-aware. He knows what the problem is. He knows that he's the problem. He knows that. I just think he really doesn't know how to, you know, go about, you know, I don't want to say fixing it, but, you know, doing what he's supposed to do. And so, when it's Christina, Henry, Brett, and Olivia, because everybody else leave, you know, Christina asks him, you know, like, they all talk about what they rated each other, and they ask Brett, you know, what did he rate, you know, their marriage, and he says again, you know, how he didn't rate it and how he refuses to. And Christina, this is the thing. Okay, so Christina says she felt like he was avoiding it. I feel like yes and no. I feel like, number one, I do think to a degree he was kind of like trying to avoid saying it, and I don't really know why. But at the same time, it's not that big of a deal, though. It's not that big of a deal. And so then I didn't know it was gonna turn into this. So then Christina goes and takes Olivia by herself and tells her how she sees all of these red flags, and it's like, girl, okay, I understand, I get it, but as she ended up saying, as Olivia said, girl, you've been around him for all of a couple seconds. You don't even know him. And granted, you don't have to really know somebody sometimes to get little red flags. And I do think that Brett's weird as hell. I don't know. Something about him is off to me. But I don't think it was her place to really even say anything. My question is, Christina, did you know Olivia outside of this for you to feel this comfortable to come to her and like say that? I don't know. Granted, I do think there's something off about him, but she's right. You really haven't been around him. Just because he said he wouldn't rate the marriage, so what? Like, that is low-key childish. I don't get it. Okay, I don't get it. And Olivia was like, girl, thank you, but no thank you. And then we have Amelia and Bennett. They being cute. They make a little fort. And then we got Amani and Woody, and they, you know, get into a little bubble bath. And, you know, he bought her a bracelet, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, it was hashtag break her back. You know, he did what he had to do. He did what he had to do, okay? And I think the next morning, wait, was it the next morning when they woke up? And I think, yeah, the next morning is when they woke up and they was leaving. And, yeah, she got her back broke. Sure did. Sure did. Gosh, I don't know why. I've never been so happy for somebody else getting their back broken. But yeah, I think that was all. If I missed something else, it wasn't that important. Alrighty, I'm out. Bye.